Hey everybody, welcome to another comic book review. In this video, I'll be talking about the fourth and final compendium in Bill Willingham's Fables series. So, this is the final compendium in the Fables series by Bill Willingham, and it collects issues 114 to 150. So, basically, this picks up after the events of the last collection, and it starts off with Buffkin the monkey in Oz, and he's kind of leading somewhat of a revolution after leaving the Fabletown business office, and he kind of becomes like this revolutionary who leads sort of a movement against the Gnome King in Oz. And the art here in this arc is done by Sean McManus, and the art is wonderful for this arc. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's very different from Mark Buckingham's art, which is kind of throughout the series. This next arc is called Cubs in Toyland, and it is incredibly bleak. It basically follows the young wolf cubs, Snow White and Bigby's kids, and one of them gets taken off to Toyland, and she becomes like the new queen of Toyland, and it's basically inhabited by a bunch of toys that were discarded by their owners, and she didn't ask to be taken to Toyland, but she has to be kind of like, she's thrown into this role, and she's just a kid, and she has to basically step up and command this entire kingdom, and she doesn't know how to do it. And her brother Dare goes in after her, and has to make a tough decision in order to potentially rescue her. And it's really dark, and I don't know, it came as kind of like a not a surprise, but it was just like, it felt a little like muddled in terms of what it wanted to say. Like, I don't think it really got the point that it wanted to get across. So I wasn't a huge fan of that arc, but some of the next ones in this collection are great. There's one involving Snow White as she gets a visit from Prince Brandish, who at a very young age was kind of he made a pact with Snow White whenever they were very young, to get married, and now centuries and centuries later, Snow is of course married to Bigby, and Prince Brandish comes back and tries to take Snow back, and he is absolutely, in my opinion, one of the most despicable villains in the entire series. So him kind of becoming like a new threat was very interesting to see. And also Nurse Sprat, who is going by a different name now. She is also an incredibly despicable villain in this volume, and they're kind of the two main villains throughout this whole final volume. Uh, and then there's something that happens with Bigby as well, where there's a war that's mounting between Rose Red and Snow White, and Bigby is kind of uh, causing a lot of destruction, but he doesn't mean to. He's under a curse. And it's a whole lot of different plot lines, a whole lot of different subplots. And honestly, it's good up to a point. And then it just becomes kind of a drag. I feel like if it would have ended, if it would have wrapped up some of the plot lines a lot earlier, it would have been a better ending, because by the time the book ended, I was just like, okay, that's the ending? Like, that's really how we're going to end this 150 issue long series? We're going to end it like that? And I don't know. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It's not like an awful ending, but it ends in a way that, and this is kind of a problem I had earlier on in some of the earlier volumes in the series. Moments that should be huge moments feel almost anticlimactic. They feel like they're kind of insignificant compared to the rest of some of the other moments that should be um, like less, but are. It's weird because I feel like some of the moments that should feel big and that are really important to the story, they don't feel big because of the way that they're presented and the way that the story shifts around so much. Um, I feel like, the series had a great thing going for it, and then it all just kind of comes tumbling down towards the end. And I feel like Bill Willingham couldn't support the weight of the enormous series that he created towards the end. And I know I'm kind of like in the minority when it comes to that opinion because I know a lot of people did like the ending, but I I don't know. I wish it would have ended differently. Um as far as the art goes, it's all wonderful. Um like I said, Sean McManus's art in this first little story is phenomenal. The colors in this arc are great. Mark Buckingham does a wonderful job as usual. Um, and Bill Willingham, his writing is good for the most part, and then, like I said, towards the end, it just becomes too much. And I mean, it was almost kind of a slog to get through at the end. It was just like, okay, can we wrap this up? Because I don't know, it just became a little too much. But overall, would I recommend Fables as a series? Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a fun read. Even if it does get a little too convoluted towards the end, I think there's enough in this series that justifies reading it. And I might come back to it some years down the line. I'm not sure. I liked it well enough. I didn't dislike it to the point where I wouldn't read it again, because there is enough in here that I did really love. But as far as like um, DC Black Label and like Vertigo's like flagship titles, um, Fables doesn't stand out to me quite as much as, say, Sandman or Preacher or Transmetropolitan. Um, this series is good, yeah, but it's not as great as I think it could have been. Um, and I think really the only way that they could have fixed it is by not including so many different subplots and not consistently adding and adding and adding and adding to the story to the point where it just becomes really convoluted. I think a lot of this story could have been saved by just having it be more simple. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the fourth and final Fables Compendium. Thank you so much for watching as always. Look forward to more videos in the future and have a great day.